Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test, 1, 2. Test, test. Can you hear me out there? My laptop just crashed. Okay. We'll have to deal with that in a minute. So, I'm hoping you can hear me. I think I got everything set up. Like I said, my laptop just took a dump. Turn that off. Let me check I was using my laptop to monitor to make sure everything sounded okay. But let me see. Hear you 4x4. All right. And that is Dave from Urban Astro. Dave, how you doing over there in Phoenix? A little hot, you would say? Let me see. Okay, I can hear my wife in the background too. Alright, Dave from Urban Astro. Dave. Alright, so I guess I thought I would go ahead and do a live stream this afternoon. Process some old data that I had taken. Oh my gosh, this was probably last year. M16, the Eagle Nebula, and although I do have pics in sight, I still haven't dove into it too deep to kind of figure it out. So I use pics in sight very, very, very limited, like almost non-existent. And it's a shame because I really need to kind of get into that and start using pics in sight. But that is a whole nother story. So who do we have today, right now? Let's see who we got. Do we just have, it looks like Dave. Yep, Dave's here. All right. So I thought I would start with my weather. So here in Yuma, I'll show you with my little cursor. If you see my little cursor right there, my cursor's right here in Arizona. Just in case you don't know where Yuma is right about there. Right there. Right at the California, Arizona, Mexico border. Right at that little spot right there. So today in Yuma, it is, right now it's showing up as 113. But it's saying it feels like 117, and that's why I am inside. Actually, right now it says it's 116. so yeah, it's pretty freaking hot. 116 degrees here today. So today is a day that you stay inside the house and only go out when you have to. 116 says it's 116. It feels like 119. So 116 feels like 119. So it's kind of hot here, and I know, Dave, you guys are right in the middle of it too, and you're in Phoenix, so you guys have all that concrete to just bounce all that heat off and absorb that heat in the concrete and the asphalt. So I feel even worse for you guys. So here's my weather right now. Here's what it looks like. It's been clear at night, for the last week or so. But again, it's been hotter than get out. So everything, I have all my equipment is inside the house. I brought my my PC in. Brought my mount. Everything's inside. The only thing that's still outside is my my tri-pier. But yeah. So here's the weather right now, and I mean, it looks like it's kind of going to be clouding up with a thin layer of cloud here later. But if you look up here to the north of Arizona, this is like maybe almost around the Grand Canyon. It looks like there's a fire there. If we get to, let me see if we can get to a closer view here. There's a fire. That's a fire. Here's the Grand Canyon right here, and there's our fire. So let's see, right there up in northern Arizona. It's a pretty bad fire too. But yeah, we do have some clouds, but mostly clear. So, but that's not what this video is for. This live stream is. We're gonna take some of my older data. I think I processed it. I think I took this data last year, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a processing video here in a live stream. So I guess let's go ahead and get started. We will get rid of this view because that's not going to do us any good right now. All right, so the data that I'm going to be using is this data right here. So these have already been stacked, have already been aligned and everything, and I used Deep Sky Stacker. So I managed to capture 1 hour and 10 minutes of HA, and this was back in September. So let me look at my log, and I'll tell you what camera I used to take this if I wrote it down. So September. And I may not have wrote anything down because I may have been testing this. September, October, heart, squid, heart, flying bat. That one didn't turn out too well. Okay, September 14th. Yeah, I failed to get what I took the picture with. I'm almost 100% certain that I used my 80mm stellar view and my 2600 mono based on the framing. But I was able to capture 1 hour and 10 minutes of HA, 1 hour and 50 minutes of O3, and 1 hour and 20 minutes of S2. So I'm going to go into PixInsight first, and I'll show you what I use PixInsight right now for. All right. So I'm going to open these files up. Where, okay, M16, right there. So I got M16, M16, and M16. And just about the only thing that I know how to do in PixInsight right now is to hit this little button here to do that auto stretch. So this is my sulfur, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just looking for a gradient to see if I have any gradient. All right. And so this data isn't great, and is not a lot. But here is my HA. So the HA looks good. I don't see any gradient there. The S2 looks pretty uniform as well. So I'm going to call those two done. Not going to worry about doing any kind of gradient removal on those. If we look at the 03, however, if we look at the 03, you can definitely see a gradient. There's a darker here with gradual getting lighter over here. So I did get, I did have some gradient here. So what I use PixInsight for right now, and please don't yell at me, but basically what I use PixInsight for right now is for DBE. So I'm gonna use, I'm gonna use ABE because I'm lazy. So ABE, I've done both subtraction and division, and there's probably a right one and a wrong one, but I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to subtract, and then I'm going to put that over there. Now, I actually like to see the background removal. So if I hit the stretch button again, here it shows me what was removed. And that way when I go ahead and look at this original image, you can kind of see that it kind of matches up. I mean, that's just me personally, but yeah, that's what I do. So let's look at the new image. Okay, so there we go. So now you can, if you take a different look at these two images, right here and right here, you can tell. And we will close this one, and we will close that one. But here, if you look at the two images, these are both the oxygen. This is the oxygen after automatic background extraction. It looks a lot more uniform. So I'm happy with that. We're going to close this one, and then I'm going to save this. And this is what I'm going to use when I process. Yeah, ABE is a lot easier to use than DBE. So we're going to go ahead and do a file, save as, and I'll save it right here as M16 oxygen 3 9/16/22 1 hour 50 minutes ABE. So we're going to save that, and I'm going to put it as 16-bit since I'm going to be using Photoshop anyways for my processing. Okay, so with that, I close PixInsight because I'm done with PixInsight. All right. So we're going to go ahead and open up Photoshop. And it's probably been, I don't know, a month or two easily since I've done any type of processing. So I am probably gonna suck at it pretty bad. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and open, and I'm gonna find my M16 HA, my M16 03 ABE, and my M16 S2. And I'm gonna open those three up in Photoshop. Okay, so here we have our HA, our O3, and our S2. And the way I like to process each image is I like to do it HA first, S2, and then O3. So I'm going to take that and move that over there. And then in Photoshop, I'm going to change these to image mode, 16-bit, and we're going to change that to exposure and gamma. For the S2, we're going to go to image mode, 16-bit, and again, exposure and gamma, and then the O3 is already in 16-bit, so we're good there. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the most dramatic first. The HA. So we'll go ahead and fit the screen, fit the screen, fit screen, fit screen. There we go. Alright. So here's our HA, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and adjust the levels. So if I go to Image, Adjustments, Level right here, it's Control L. So if I hit Control L, it'll bring up the levels adjustment. And I'm not an expert. I think my images are not that great. There are 15,000 different ways to do this. There are, hundreds, if not thousands, of other people that probably can do this a ton better than I can. But this is how I do it. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Isaac helped me a lot with Photoshop in the beginning, and then I kind of just started experimenting and stuff like that as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little black level and bring it up, or that's the white, and then Control L again. Now this is the black, so bring the black down right to the end of that, and we're just going to keep doing that until I get what I think looks pretty good. I'm just trying to clip. I know that I should probably clip the data first, but I don't do that. I'm lazy. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is I'm going to adjust the mid-level. Just like that. And I'm just doing levels, so it's just Control L each time. Bring that down. Bring it up. And what you want to do is just make sure that you don't go past this level right here, because you'll start clipping data. So I mean, that looks pretty good right now for HA. I mean, the data, no stars don't look great, but whatever. So there's HA. So now we're going to go ahead and do our S2. Okay, S2, again, Control L, bring that up, bring it up again, bring that down. So this is white and this is dark, so the white level, we're bringing that in, and there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and adjust the mid. Alright, and just keep adjusting it until you get what you want. And then what I like to do is I'll compare my HA to my other two, just to make sure that my blacks look about the same. And when I look, they do look about the same. And just to check to see that the stars are about the same. The same amount of stars are there, so I'm not bringing extra stars out when I adjust these levels. So like the S2, I've got a lot more stars than in the HA, so we're going to go back into HA, and I'm going to bring that up again a little more. And again, like I said, I don't know if this is right, if this is wrong, but this is what I do. Okay, hey Logan, how's it going, Logan? It's 116 here right now. Feels like it's 119. At least that's what my weather app is telling me. So even though I'm inside, I'm hot. So okay, so we've got our HA. And we've got our S2. I'm going to see if I can bump this S2 up just a little bit. And again, this data, I took this data back in September of last year. I pretty sure I used my 80mm stellar view and my 2600. I only got like a little less than 2 hours on most of everything. Like here, the HA I got 1 hour and 10 minutes, the S2 I got 1 hour and 20, and the O3 I got 1 hour and 50. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting the data to come out that good, but you know, it is what it is. So here we're going to bring up the whites, and then we're going to bring up those mids. I'll bring up the whites again. Windy and cloudy there in New Zealand. Alright, so we're going to bring that in. And this is the O3. Again, you know, there's not a whole lot of O3 there, but we'll see what we can pull out. So all I'm doing right now is just levels adjustment in Photoshop. Just kind of playing with it. No, this I took from the backyard, Dave. So yeah, this I did not take. I think I was just testing my equipment or something and just trying to get. I was either testing guiding or it was a test session. But the data came out pretty good, so I was pretty happy with it. So I went on ahead and ran with it. So all right, so we've got some O3 here. It doesn't look too bad. So now we're going to look at the S2. The O3 is still a little dark. The HA looks good. So we're going to go ahead and bump up the volume here. Bump up the. Hey Logan, how is retirement, man? How's it going? Retirement must be nice. All right, so let's look here. Okay, so we've got. All right, so I think that looks pretty good from where we're at here. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I've already done a levels adjustment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a curves adjustment. So for curves adjustment, I think it's Control M. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the center and pull it down just a little to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Brighten it up a little bit, and then right about here at the 1/3 from the middle, I'm going to kind of raise that up just a little, just to give me a little S curve, and it'll kind of help brighten that stuff up and split that stuff out. So we're going to go ahead and do that on each one. Control M here, and then about right here. That's too much. Okay. And then O3, Control M. Bring that down. Because what that does, bringing that down, it brightens up the core just a little bit. And then something like that. Okay. Now, again, disclaimer is I am not a professional. I do not know what I'm doing at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am just one dude trying to make an astral image. So anyways, all right, so yeah, that's my disclaimer. I am not a professional. I do not do this for a living, and nor do I even know what I'm doing. Usually I just watch everybody else's videos and enjoy their images. Hold on, I gotta go see what happened. I heard my daughter say, "Oh my God," so something's going on. I'll be right back. Okay. Woo. Okay. So Okay, so my daughter was freaking out. I don't know what was going on, but I guess she was having a fight with Alexa. So, anyways, her and Alexa were not getting along. We have one of those little Echo Dots, and we use Alexa for like kitchen timer and stuff like that. And sometimes she just likes to tell us jokes or likes to just not listen. So, yeah. So it sounded like there was something emergency going on out there, but she was just having a fight with Alexa. Okay, so I think here looks pretty good. I might bump the. Let's go ahead and combine these all and see what we got. I guess so. From this point, I didn't do any noise reduction, did I? So I can do a little bit of noise reduction before, if I want to. So I'm just gonna go to filter, camera raw, put the two together here, go to detail, and then just do just a little bit of noise reduction. Not much. Alright, so we got a little bit of noise reduction there. S2, we're probably going to have to do more. I don't even know if this S2 looks that good. We'll have to see when I put everything together. I might have to bump it up a little. But we're going to try and clean that up a little bit. That's pretty nasty, actually, if you ask me, that's pretty nasty. Okay, camera raw. She's still fighting with Alexa. This is funny. I can hear her just having words with Alexa. All right, so we're gonna clear that up with this. All right. Okay, let's put all this stuff together. So we're gonna do Control A, which is all, select all, and then we're gonna copy Control C, and then we're gonna go ahead and create a new, and we're gonna go to RGB color, and then we're gonna go to, since this is HA, we're gonna put it in the green channel. So Control V, and we're gonna go to S2, Control A, Control C, and then back to the other one, and this is S2, so that is red. So Control V, and then O3, we're going to Control A, Control C, and then go back to the new image and put that in the blue, Control V. And then when we click on this little button here, we're going to look at everything and see what it looks like. It don't look too bad. It looks okay. Let's see. Alright. The good thing about this is if I want to go back and say I want to put in a little more, I want to go ahead and maybe say add a little more HA because it looks like I can go ahead and bump it up a bit. Okay, and then we can go ahead and do a Control A, Control C again. Go back over here to channels, green, Control V, and then that, it came out just a little bit brighter. So a little more HA come through. So at this point, I could start processing here if I like. Yeah, that don't look too bad. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start here. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove the stars. And I know in PixInsight it's really easy. You just hit Star Exterminator and everything works out. But I don't know if you guys have done it in Photoshop or not. But the way you do it in Photoshop is a little different. So the first thing that you do is you create a duplicate layer. and then you create a second duplicate layer, and then you highlight the top duplicate layer, and then you go to your plugin. Star Exterminator is what I have, that's what I use, and then you run it. I'm going to start my laptop up. My laptop crashed on me earlier. I think my laptop's on its way out. So this will take a little while. It's not too bad, but it'll take just a little bit. And Logan, if you're still there, I'll show you our weather here. So here's our weather right now. It says 113, but on my phone it says it's 117. So it says 114, it feels like it's 118, and we've got 17% humidity. So yeah, so the Star Exterminator, when you purchase the Star Exterminator license, you actually get the license key. Works for both Photoshop and for PixInsight. So yeah, so basically you purchase Star Exterminator one time, and you have both plugins, the Photoshop plugin and the PixInsight plugin, which is kind of nice. So yeah, it's gonna run just a little bit, but take a little while. My computer is not the fastest. It's actually my son's old gaming computer that he gave me after he upgraded his. So it works, it does the job, but it might take just a little bit of time. So Logan has bad weather, it sounds like. Dave has heat advisories, as I do. I think at night it gets down to, it might hit 89 at night right now at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so it's a little hot for us right now to image. Alright, so let's see. Alright, let's see. Alright. So yeah, other than sitting in the house in the air condition, I haven't been doing much of anything other than work and all that other good stuff. But it's just too hot. If we go outside more than 2 or 3 times a day, it starts getting hot inside the house just from opening and shutting the doors. Yeah, right, Dave. It was 92 this morning at 5 o'clock. Yeah, it's Arizona, so what are you gonna do, right? It's Arizona. We just live with it. Hey, Mark. I'm having a blast. Okay, so stars are gone. Again, we're using Star Exterminator in Photoshop, but I'm not done yet. So now what I need to do is I need to right click on this this piece right here, and I need to duplicate this layer also. So we're going to duplicate that layer like that. Then I need to go down to this layer, and I need to set this to subtract. And, oh, hold on, I'm screwing up. I'm messing up because I am doing a live stream and I'm explaining it. Usually it's just like second nature. Okay, so then we're going to go and we're going to hide this layer here. Then we're going to go to this layer. Then we're going to subtract. And that gives us the stars. Then we're going to take this layer and we're going to merge it down to the layer below it. Did you catch that? This is how you do Star Exterminator in Photoshop. Okay, so then once you've done that, then you bring this level up, this layer up, and then you can unhide that layer, and then on this layer here, you set it to linear dodge add. Got it? All right, so now, if I've done it right, this layer here should be stars. So I'm gonna rename this to stars. This layer here should be starless. So we're gonna rename this to starless, like that, and we'll see if that's right. So if I hide this, the stars should go away. If I undo these, I should only have stars. So there we go. All right, so from this point here, I can go ahead and start working this image. All right, so first thing that I do is I'll make a copy of this. So I'll do Control-Shift-N-E. So that gives me a new copy that I can work with. And we're just gonna go ahead and we can adjust levels, we can adjust curves, I can adjust colors, which is probably what I'll do first. I'm actually gonna bump it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna Control-L and bring it up just a little bit, like that. All right. So what we're going to do here next is I think I'm going to adjust the colors. So to adjust colors, the way that I do it is I use selective color. So I'm going to go ahead and go to layer, and then we're going to say new adjustment layer, and then I'm going to go to selective color right here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go to yellows, and I'm going to remove the cyan like that, and remove some yellow. And this is all to your liking, I guess. And then the green, I'm also going to do the same. Remove the cyan and remove the yellow, kind of like that. I mean, this is just however in Photoshop, this is what I do, right? It's not wrong, it's not right, it's just is this OSE data or so this was mono data, Mark. So if we look here, here was my my HA data right here. Here was my S2 data, and here was my O3 data. So this was all from my mono. This was from my 2600, and I think it was my 80 millimeter stellar view, but I'm not certain. So we went in, and what we had done earlier was we adjusted the levels and everything on each channel, and then I combined all those channels. So this is a combined channel, and it was a little green, obviously. You know, so so yeah. So you know, I can mess around with the. Yeah, a lot of people do everything and do a lot of their work in Pix, but me, I do a lot of my work, mostly all of my work in Photoshop. So here we go. I mean, that looks okay. I can try to mess with the blue in here by adjusting the cyan, and you can see how it's turning a little more turquoise, a little more green. There's getting a little more blue now, right there. Adjust my greens again. So I mean, I can, do whatever. It's just kind of mess around. All right. So once I have, something that I like, then I will go ahead and merge that down. So now that's merged into that layer. So this is what we had before, and this is what we have now. So that doesn't look too bad, I guess. It looks all right. I mean, it's not great. I'm not. I like to use both picks and tweak in Photoshop. Yeah, I hear you, Logan. I just haven't taken the time to learn picks, but Isaac's supposed to show me. But we'll see when that happens. But you can see it's still pretty noisy, so I'm gonna go ahead and create another layer here. Control Shift N E. That creates me another layer, and then what I'm gonna put here, and I'm gonna label this. So this one I'm gonna put here. This was color adjust. So I adjusted color in that layer. This one I'm gonna put is noise reduction. Noise NR or noise reduction. This is just so I can know what it is. So here I'm gonna go ahead and go back to camera filter raw, and I'm gonna pick a spot that looks pretty yucky, and then we're gonna go ahead and do some noise reduction. So here's before, here's after. I don't even know if YouTube is showing it very well. And then we're going to do a little color noise reduction as well. But I mean, here you can see that it's pretty granulated here, and here it's a little smoother. Yeah. So just look at the inside. There's the pillars. All right. So if it's to what I want, then I'll say okay, and that'll apply that to the whole image. Another thing that I can do is I can play with masks a little bit, and we'll see what if we can adjust the color here on the inside. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and go to layer, select, and we're going to select the color range, and I'm just going to say this. So that's the inside right there, right? Let's try and get this green stuff. Alright, let's write that. So I'm going to say okay. So there's my color mask, and I know nothing about masks either. I mean, like I said, I'm such a novice at processing. Really, guys. So here's what we're gonna apply. This is the mask that I have. So I'm gonna smooth it out a bit and wait for it to apply. So it's smoothed it out, and then I'm gonna feather quite a bit, just so it's not so it kind of blurs it out, right? And you guys probably know all about this stuff, and I don't. So all right. So you can see it's a little fuzzy, and I'm gonna go ahead and say okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into a new adjustment layer, back to selected color, and now what this is gonna do is this is gonna apply this color changes just to the mask, right? So if I go back to cyan, and then I'm gonna, so you can see that that's only adjusting that area. So I mean, we're just kind of messing around, and yeah. All right, and if I want to change some greens, let's see if there's even anything in there. Not really. All right. All right, so after we're done with that, then I'm going to go ahead and merge that down. So now, if we want to look at the workflow, just to see where we've been and where we're going. Hey, we got a bunch of people from Arizona in here. We got Ray and Mark and Dave, and must be because it's just hot and there ain't anything to do. Right? All right. So if we want to look at my workflow, I can always hide each level, right? So this is where we started. Once I combined my 3 channels, and then this is starless. We did a color adjustment right here, so we went from that to that, and then I did a little bit of noise reduction as well as I did some more color adjustment here. So we went from that to that. Right? So I mean, I still have green in here. I kind of like it. It kind of looks cool. I don't know. It's all to taste, right? It's all to taste. All right. So at this point, I'd like to sharpen my image up a little bit. So the way that you do that in Photoshop is using the high pass filter. So I'm going to go ahead and create Control-Shift-N-E, create another layer, and here we're going to call this one HP filter, just so I know what it is. Alright, so to use the high pass filter, go to filters, go to other, go to high pass, and then what you want to do is just kind of play with this number here, this radius. I want to put it like at 2.5, and then you can see, I don't know how well YouTube is showing it, but you can see that there's like an outline of the pillars right here. The more defined the outline, the more that it's gonna crisp that up. But then it's also going to bring back some noise. So I changed it to like 2.3, and then from here you go back to your that layer, and you change that to overlay, and then we can see. So we'll just look at this spot right here. Bring it in for you guys. All right. So now you can see and it's going to be very, very subtle. I might have to bump it up a bit, but right there I have the high pass filter off. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and let's see if you can see things kind of sharpen up a bit. Just off and on, so it sharpens it up just a bit. I mean, I don't know if YouTube, if it's coming through YouTube very well. I might bump it up a little more, but I think it's okay. That looks all right. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna call this done, because I don't want to. I could sit here for hours, right? I can sit here for hours and hours and hours just adjusting things. Like obviously, you guys know. Are we ever really satisfied with our images? Hey, Michael, how you doing? How is it over there in Apache Junction? I bet you it's hot over there too. We got the whole AZ Arizona crew here today. So yeah, okay, so now let's go ahead and we're gonna look at the stars. So I'll show you what I do with stars. I do like very, very, very minimal with the stars. I am a lazy astrophotographer. Okay, when it comes to processing, I'll do all my stuff manual because as far as focus and all that stuff, because it's just easier for me. But as far as processing, I do as little as possible because I am a lazy astrophotographer when it comes to processing. So here's the image with the stars, and if we go ahead and hide everything else, here's our stars, and you can see they're pretty nasty. There's some blues and purples and all that good stuff, but we're gonna get rid of that. So the way I get rid of this is I'm just going to work on the stars. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and copy this layer. So Control-Alt-Shift-N-E, just like that. And I want to put this and change this to O stars for the original stars. Okay, and then this is going to be new stars. All right. So what I will do at this point is I'm going to hide that, and I'm going to go in here, and again I'm just going to go to layers, new adjustment layers, and I'm going to go to selective color, and I'm going to come in here a little bit, and then I'm just going to go through and see what colors do I not what colors do I not want. So we're going to go to magentas, because you don't want magenta, right? And I'm going to take magenta out, and look, it's already kind of clearing up. It's already clearing up. Right, so magentas, and you can almost get like natural stars almost. So it's pretty good. So what else do I have in here that I don't like? Let's see. All right, and this is really hard to like work on processing and watch the chat. So I mean, it's rough. All right. So I think I have some purples here, some purples and blues. So let's go into our blue, and let's try and get rid of that and just kind of make those blues go away. So that brought it to about a purple. There we go. So yeah, look at that. That's all I did to kind of clear up those stars in Photoshop. All right. Cool in Iowa, but totally swamped with Canadian wildfire smoke. Oh man, that's horrible. But it's nice that it's cool over there. So all right, so I think I've got my stars where I want. And remember, I am a minimalist. I don't like doing a lot of work. So we're gonna go ahead and merge down. So now my new stars look like this. So now if I want to go ahead and look at them in my image, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight everything back up, except for the original stars. And then again here I need to change this to linear dodge add. So that's what we got with stars now. And then if I want to reduce my stars, since I am super lazy, I am going to create a new Control-Alt-Shift-N-E, create a new layer. What did I do? Hold on. Let me delete that. Delete that layer. Okay. So we gotta highlight all that, and then Control-Shift-N-E. Okay, and then here we're going to say reduce stars. Reduce stars, like that. Red stars. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. All right, and then again we're going to change this to linear dodge add, so that the two can come together, just like that. O stars, new stars, reduce stars. And then me, I'm lazy. I don't do any of that feathering and all that crap anymore because I'm just lazy. So we're going to do Control L, and then I'm just going to bring them down. Just like that. I'm just going to bring the mids down because I'm lazy. And to where I think I like it. That looks okay. Yeah, alright. So then you can look to see what the original stars were. And then here's my reduced stars. So I just brought them down. Just like that. Whoops. Just like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then I still got all this artifact here. So at this point, if this is what if this is where I thought that I'd like to finish it, then I will go ahead and crop it. So let's go ahead and crop it. So we're going to go ahead and minimize this or make it a little smaller here so I can get the whole image, and then I'm going to go to crop tool, and then we're going to go down and just get rid of some of that stuff in the sides. Just like that. Okay, and then we're going to crop. Boom. Okay, there we go. And then if you want to add your signature, I don't know, what do you guys think? You guys think this looks okay? It could be better, obviously, but I'm like I said, I'm a minimalist, and I don't like to do a lot of work on my images. So okay, so we'll go ahead and put our signature on here. So I'm going to go ahead. I have it saved. So I'm going to open my signature, which is right about here, just like that. All right. So then again, we're going to Control A for select all, Control C, and then we're going to go Control V, like that. Then we're going to Control I to invert. Then we're going to go up here to and change this to lighten or screen. Either one of those works. So do that, and then we're going to do Control T, which is transform, which will actually adjust the size and allow you to move it. So I can take it, move it, put it wherever I want, make it as big as I want, and then I'm going to change the opacity on it so it's not so it doesn't stick out so much, kind of like that. There we go. I don't know, guys, what do you guys think? And again, this was data that I took with my 2600 monochrome camera. I believe it was with my 80mm stellar view from my backyard here in Yuma, Arizona. I think I'm like Bortle 6.5, probably 7 now, because it looks pretty bad at night. So from Bortle 6.5, back in September, I managed, so this was the HA data, using 3 nanometer Antlia filters. This was 1 hour and 10 minutes of data only of HA. This was the S2 data that we used, 1 hour and 20 minutes of S2, and 1 hour and 50 minutes of O3. That gave me that right there. So, I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. But, you know, I think it came out pretty good for, what, maybe 4 hours of data. So let's go ahead and look at the chat here and see what we got. Oh, I'll show you guys something new that I picked up. All right, so hold on. All right, so the scope I've had. All right, but see this camera. All right, and then I'm going to show you see if you can read it. Can you see what it says? Let's see. It is a 178 MC cooled. So I picked up on cloudy nights a 178 cooled camera. Um, my thought was that I was going to go ahead and try to use that for EAA, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so it's a 178. So it's basically the hockey puck, the little 178 camera, and I found it on cloudy nights. So it's the same sensor. It's the same sensor as this guy right here, right? So here's the 178, and there's the sensor on the 178. It's a nice little bitty guy. See right there. So yeah, they don't make those anymore, Mark. I found it on cloudy nights. I actually put like a wanted ad out that I wanted a 178 MC cooled camera, and I got somebody replied back and said, "Hey, yeah, I have one." So I think I got it for like $300. So that's a good deal. So yeah, I want to use that for EAA. You know, it's got a nice little bitty sensor, small pixels, so it'll pair up well with my Red Cat or with the GT71. Give me a nice image scale, and also it's pretty fast. You know, frame rates and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited that I got that, and I'll be able to cool it down. So I'll be able to create a dark library and all that good stuff, so that I'll be able to use that for EAA, and hopefully it will you know, help have a so I can do some pretty good EAA once it starts cooling off. But yeah, I think that's it. Let me see what else we got here. I'll show you guys. Here's our weather again. Oh, it looks like everything's moved. Phoenix is right around here somewhere, right in the middle of the thick of stuff. Yuma's down here in this little crappy corner over here where my cursor is. We've got a pretty big fire up north, it looks like, up by the Grand Canyon, just south of Grand Canyon. And Tucson and New Mexico are getting clouded out right now. So, and Logan says he's got the 533 coming. Yep. Yeah, I still want a 533 mono, Logan, to add to my my arsenal of cameras. But yeah, thanks you guys for sticking around, and thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and all that good stuff, blah blah blah. I just wanted to kind of get out there and kind of just do a processing video in Photoshop. Like I said, disclaimer, I'm no expert, not even close to being an amateur. So I am a beginner in Photoshop, and I don't use PixInsight. So so yeah, but there we go, guys. There's the image that we put together today, right now, on the live stream. So thanks everybody for watching. I think I'm gonna go jump in the pool now, and good night. Hope everybody has some clear skies, and I hope everybody has cooler temperatures and no smoke, and I hope everybody can image. So thank you guys very much, and good night.